Today's video is one that I have been wanting to do for a very long time and that I've actually been preparing behind the scenes for quite a while now, over half a year. And that is testing out the super duper duper viral Abbey Yung Method on my damaged hair. I have been so curious about this for so long, so I thought I would take you along the journey with me and kind of give you little updates as we go along, give you my thoughts, show you the actual routine, give you a breakdown of what it is, and just share my experience. And hopefully if you are embarking on a hair care journey or like a hair health journey, this will be a helpful resource for you. So this might be a long one. Grab a snack, grab a little drink, and let's jump into me testing out the Abbey Yung Method.
Your ultimate guide to the Abbey Yung Method for normal/medium hair. If your hair is in between times.
So if you're like, okay, who is Abbey Yung and what is the Abbey Yung Method? You might be living under a rock, but also Abbey Yung is a certified trichologist who has started just becoming super viral after making her own method that healed her hair after a bunch of damage and breakage and all that kind of stuff. So she's created her own method that's anywhere from like 11 to 15 steps. It's kind of unclear to me exactly how many there are because there's a lot of options. We'll get into that. But she suggests a list of both drugstore and high-end products that you can use in combination to do this routine and really help get your hair into a healthier place. She's tested this method and had success, so now she's kind of brought it over to the internet and it has absolutely exploded. I've seen everybody talking about it. So for me personally, I had a little bit of a bleaching hair disaster. Back in November, I went and saw a new hairstylist for the first time and kind of tried to do something new, and then it really didn't work out, and then I ended up getting my hair bleached 3 times in 48 hours. Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is it. This is the sign that I needed. I absolutely need to try this method because I'm in dire straits here, okay? I need assistance. I've always had generally healthy-ish hair. I've always had pretty long hair. I haven't really struggled with my hair until I would say the last like 5 or 6 years. I have low iron and anemia from time to time. I have SIBO. I've developed quite a few health issues over those years, so it makes sense that that kind of correlates to my hair health, and I feel like my hair has gotten a lot thinner, a lot more brittle, so this is also for just my overall hair health as well as the bleach damage. So in case you're like, what are the steps that you keep mentioning? What are all of these? What products do you use? All that different kind of stuff. According to her official Instagram, the Abbey Yung Method post, the first step is a pre-shampoo bond treatment. This can be a variation of different products, but you let that sit in your hair before you shampoo. Step 2 is a pre-shampoo oil treatment. So after your bond treatment has set in, you put in an oil, you let that sit for a little bit, then you hop in the shower and you do a clarifying shampoo. Now, this is recommended for some people every time, for some people just like once a week. It's kind of up to you. But kind of the biggest thing I've noticed is her double shampoo method. So the next step is your more kind of moisturizing shampoo step, or as she puts it, a non-clarifying shampoo. So this can be, again, anything from like a drugstore product to a super high end. She has tons of recommendations there. If you are like me and you have a sensitive scalp and you have a medicated shampoo that you use from time to time, then you would follow up with the medicated shampoo after that. So sometimes you're shampooing your hair 3 times. We'll get into all that. Then step 5 is a bond repair treatment. So if you are somebody who loves K18, this is something that you can use after you shampoo and before you condition. She has a ton of info as far as like the breakdowns of all of that on her pages. Then step 6 is part 1 of conditioning, which is a gloss. You can use this kind of like rinse situation as a little bit of a precondition. Then the next step is the actual conditioner. For some people, they take it even a step further and do like a deep conditioning mask. And for some people, they skip the regular conditioner altogether and just go with the deep conditioning mask, which is what I do. So then you're done in the shower. Then you move on to the out of the shower steps. And I know it sounds like a lot, and it is. Stay with me, okay? So once you're out of the shower, some people do a post-wash bond repair treatment. Then you move into like your kind of protectants, leave-in conditioners, styling products. And then to seal everything in, you either use a serum or an oil. And that is the Abbey Yung Method. If you're overwhelmed, I was too. Don't you worry. Abbey does have like a ton, like so much information on all of her pages. On her YouTube channel, she has like a full deep dive. I'll make sure to link that in the description box below. Also on her TikTok and Instagram, she has more kind of digestible short form versions. She has this sort of like infographic option. So there's a lot of information. You just kind of have to be a little dedicated. We'll talk more about my thoughts on that in a little bit, but as far as the products that I got, I kind of did a mixture of high-end products and drugstore products, and it just sort of was trial and error in figuring out what it is that I liked. But initially, I bought the Garnier Fructis hair filler and bonding inner fiber hair repair treatment. This was $9.99. Then I got the Pantene Sheer Volume shampoo, which is the clarifying shampoo, for $8.49. L'Oreal Everpure Bond Repair shampoo for the second shampoo, which was $10.99. K18 Leave-In Molecular Repair hair mask, which I already owned, but it does cost $75. For my conditioner, I got the Pantene Miracle Rescue Intensive Bond Repair Mask for $12.99. Then for the conditioning kind of rinse, I got the L'Oreal Elvive 8-Second Wonder Water for $11.49. For the heat protectant slash leave-in conditioner, if you watch my most recent de-influencing video, I did talk about this, but this is what I'm using at the moment. And this is the Pureology Color Fanatic Heat Protectant and Leave-In Conditioner. It was $36. Then, as recommended by my stylist, as well as I'm pretty sure it's on this list as well, for a heat protectant additionally, after I like blow dry my hair and before I want to use a heat tool like a curling iron or a straightener, I got the Oribe Dry Heat Protectant Spray. This was $46. Pretty expensive. Then for a hair oil, I got the OGX Coconut Oil Weightless Hydrating Oil Mist for $7.99. And then finally, later down the line, which I'll talk about, I ended up getting the Apres Bond Repair Treatment, and this is a pre-shampoo ritual that Abby swears by, so I ended up picking that up like halfway through this. And that was $70, but it came with 2 refills as well as the initial product. So, in case you're wondering what the total price for all of this was, it was over $300. It was $300 with tax and everything, and that is very expensive. But what I do like about Abby's method is that you can go all drugstore, all high-end, or do a mixture of both. So there are a lot of different options, and she is not a drugstore product shamer, which honestly is my favorite part of all of this. She's recommending L'Oreal, she's recommending Pantene, and she's going and doing deep dives on the formula and the ingredients and how well they work and the studies that they've done. I really think that she's changing a lot of what is considered acceptable in the hair world, because I know like when you see a hairstylist, they say one thing, sometimes when you see a dermatologist, they say another thing. So I feel like a trichologist seems like right in the middle, but there are definitely more affordable combinations to use than the one I got, but that is personally how much I spent. So as far as my actual routine and using these products, I will show you like a step-by-step of everything that I do for this. On a typical day when I'm doing the full shebang, as I like to call it, I will start off by getting my hair wet in the shower, and then I will use the Garnier Fructis Bond Repair before I shampoo because that's what's recommended. It's also recommended to use on wet hair, so I just glob a bunch of this on my hair and then I set a timer for 5 minutes. Then after that 5 minutes is up, I rinse it out and I start with my clarifying shampoo, which I use the Pantene Volume shampoo. It's the Sheer Volume. It's honestly one of my favorites. It's affordable, it's amazing. I really, really like it, and it really gets in there in your scalp and just removes all of that kind of like oil and buildup and product and everything else. Then I follow up with my L'Oreal Everpure Bond Repair shampoo. So this is my second shampoo in the process, and I will do the same exact thing, just really work it into my scalp, make sure my hair is all nice and clean. And I really do think that that is one of the biggest things that helps with this method is the double shampoo method. Like you're just really getting your hair clean and your scalp clean, and that's very important for the health of your hair. If I'm not using the Garnier pre-shampoo treatment, I will use K18, and typically when I get my hair done, I'll use K18 for my first like 4 to 6 washes after that. So if I am doing that, then I would insert that here after shampooing and before conditioning, and you leave that on for about 4 minutes. Then I will do my conditioning rinse. So I've been using the L'Oreal 8-Second Wonder Water, and you quite literally just put it on your hair for 8 seconds and you rinse it out. It's super, super quick and simple. And then lastly, I will follow up with probably one of my favorite products in this entire routine, and that's the Pantene hair mask. It is so good. It smells amazing. It's nice and fresh and clean. The pot of it lasts forever. It's really, really thick and hydrating, and I just glob this stuff on and then I let it sit for 5 to 7 minutes, typically more like 7. And then I rinse it out, and then the shower portion is done. After I get out of the shower, of course, like I mentioned before, I apply my leave-in conditioner and heat protectant all in one, and then I blow dry my hair. And actually halfway through this process, I bought the Dyson Air Straight, and I've really been liking that too. So I don't know if that like contributes either one way or the other to the health of my hair, but I bought it to test out for a video, and and I'm really, really loving it, so I use that a lot as well. And then also, as I mentioned, about halfway through this process, I did purchase the Apres, so if I wasn't using any of those bond repairs like I talked about, like the Garnier Fructis or the K18, before I get in the shower, I would just spray my hair with the Apres spray, and then I would let it sit for 10 to 30 minutes. Then after that, I would follow up with an oil, like usually kind of a lot of it, so that it really soaks in, and you leave that for as long as you want. I think Abby said you can leave it anywhere from like 30 minutes to overnight if you want, and then I get in the shower and shampoo. So I just kind of wanted to mention that as well. In case you're wondering how the actual process went, I did film about 3 or so updates during this process. So we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning in November, when I had quite literally the craziest heat damage and bleach. And actually, I documented doing this method for the very first time and giving you my sort of thoughts and opinions. So let's go ahead and rewind it back and start this process from the very beginning, and then give you updates as I go along. All right, it is day 1 of me trying the Abbey Yung method. I have all of the products. I have religiously watched the step-by-step instructional video over and over again, just to make sure that I don't mess anything up, because there is a lot of information, and I think I'm ready to go. So I have a little bit of a different way to start this method off, because I'm using K18, which is a like really intensive repairing product. And I have quite a bit of breakage and damage from a bleach disaster that happened this week. And now it's suffering a little bit, and it's gonna be fine. So this is actually my first wash since getting my hair done a few days ago. I wanted to really give it time and like let it rest, so I am dying to wash it now. So since I'm using the K18, now I'm gonna jump in the shower. I'm gonna start off with a clarifying shampoo. Then I'm gonna go in with a secondary shampoo, which is the, you know, regular kind of more nourishing shampoo, or like bond repair shampoo, whatever. Then after I'm done shampooing, I am going to use my K18 on towel dried hair in the shower. It's important that it's damp and not wet. Then I'm gonna let it sit for the recommended 4 minutes. Then I'm gonna apply my conditioner. Then I'm gonna let that sit for the recommended amount of time. Then I'm gonna rinse it all out. Then we're gonna do the out of the shower stuff. So there's a lot. I feel like I have it all right here. I believe in myself, so we will see you shortly. And then after 4 or 6 washes, I'm gonna start doing the oiling and the bond repair treatment before I get in the shower. It's a whole thing. All right, we are out of the shower, and there were a couple of things that I was thinking about and taking mental note of while I was in there. Number 1 being, that was a long shower. That was a lot. It was like, put this in for 4 minutes, don't touch it. Then put this in for 7 minutes, don't touch it. So it's like, it's kind of, yeah, a lot of steps. Well, it's not a lot of steps, it's just a lot of like waiting around. You could totally jump in and out of the shower if you wanted to, and maybe I'll kind of practice that over time. But I was like exfoliating in between and like doing other things, shaving, you know, whatever. So it's fine. The other thing is that Pantene mask made my hair feel silky smooth. Like my hair feels incredible. So immediately upon rinsing, I was like, oh my god, this feels amazing, and that's very promising. So considering what my hair felt like just a mere couple of days ago, I feel like we're off to a good start. So anyways, now we're moving on to the out of the shower portion, which we are going to start with our multitasking leave-in spray. This is the Color Fanatic from Pureology, and it says to mist on clean damp hair and comb through prior to styling. And yeah, it has the heat protectant in it, so I guess I'll mist it onto my hair. I'm more of like a spray it in my hands kind of gal and then run it through, but I'm going to listen because I want to do this as efficiently as possible. Does it say how much? No, it does not. I don't want to do too much because I don't want it to like over saturate and then become greasy, so don't know if I love the smell of this. It reminds me of something. I'm going to very gently brush my hair with my wet brush because I prefer that over a comb, but actually hardly a single tangle. That's wild. I'm being very cautious. This smells like a perfume. Clinique Happy, maybe? That's what's jumping in my head, but I don't know. Estee Lauder? Smells like my mom in 2002. That's not an insult, it's just very perfumey. I'm gonna brush this through, make sure it's all evenly distributed and it's coating my hair nicely. I mean, yeah, it's feeling good so far. So Now I'm going to blow dry, and then tomorrow when I style my hair, I'm gonna use an additional heat protectant. This is the Oribe Invisible Defense Universal Protecting Spray. I was actually recommended this by my hairstylist, so this is great for when you're doing dry styling, like if you've already blow dried your hair. So we will save that for tomorrow. And then after I'm done blow drying tonight, I'm gonna use the OGX Damage Remedy Plus Coconut Miracle Oil. Just a little bit though. So let's get to blow drying. Oh my god. This is really bad. This is the worst damage I've ever had. This entire section of my hair is gone. Oh, this is so much worse than I thought it was. I might just dye my hair brown and move on. My hair got ruined. Like, it literally got ruined. I guess I'm cutting curtain bangs eventually. Okay, I'm just gonna do like the tiniest bit of this oil. Maybe like a dime size amount, not even. A very, very small amount just to kind of smooth things over, because God, does she need it. I cannot get over this. I mean, it's fine if I wanted a curtain bang, but I didn't. I got a chemical cut. All right, we're just gonna leave it at that for now. I'm not gonna add any more heat until the morning. My hair will flatten out a little bit. Like, it's always just kind of really poofy like this when I blow dry it, but never this bad. This is 100% breakage. I'm reconsidering even bleaching my hair after this, but we will catch up another day. All right, as a little bit of an update, I have just finished my 5th wash using this method, and I will say by probably like the 3rd or 4th wash, I started getting the hang of it a lot more. I started getting used to what I was gonna do in the 4 minutes or the 7 minutes or whatever, like in between steps, and it's gotten a lot more routine for me, which is good. Because I remember the first time I did it, I was like, whoa, this is a lot, and then when it came time for the second time, I was like, this again? I have to do this again? Forever. But I have gotten a lot more used to it, so that's good. As far as like the overall health of my hair, I mean, I obviously can't feel that much of a difference. I still am experiencing a lot of shedding in the shower. I don't remember if I said that the first time around, like when I tested out the first wash, but I think because my hair just sheds a lot naturally, and then also because I'm in this sort of period of breakage, damage, etc., it's just natural, it's gonna happen. But I am like washing my hair and conditioning my hair and then pulling, and there is so much hair that's coming out. That was probably the millionth time I've done it. So I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that after even 3 months, I'm noticing a bit of a difference and like less shedding, healthier scalp overall. I haven't quite figured out when I want to incorporate the medicated shampoo that I used to use into the mix, because right now I'm sort of focusing on the health of my hair. So maybe once I'm done with using K18 like religiously for 6 washes in a row post salon, then I'll incorporate my Nizoral or whatever it's called back into my routine, just to help with some of like the itchy scalp that I get. But I mean, I'm liking it so far. So I'm excited to continue on with this journey and just sort of see where we're at. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely feeling a lot better, especially since introducing the Elvive Extra Boost like rinse thing. But yeah, this is where we're at. This is what we're looking like. It's much more calmed down frizz-wise, I will say. And we'll just see where we end up going in the next couple of months, but I'm excited. All right, so it has now been, I can tell you exactly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Okay, so it's been well over a month now. There wasn't really much to update in between, but yeah, we're like bordering on 2 months now doing this method. I felt like at the beginning of this video, I was like, maybe I'll try this for 90 days, but I feel like I want to try it for like 4 months, 6 months, something like that, so you can actually see a big difference, but we'll see. So far, my main thoughts are there is still some shedding, like quite a bit. It's in my brushes, it's in the drain when I take a shower. I don't think that has anything to do with the method. It has everything to do with the bleach damage that occurred, and I just always have been like a hair shedder, but there's still a lot of that. There's still, kind of similar to what I said before, a lot of, it just takes a lot to wash your hair. Like, you know that it's gonna be a long process, there's gonna be timers, there's gonna to be. If you feel like it, getting in the shower, out of the shower, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely like, it's a commitment, that's for sure. It's definitely a commitment, but it's worth it because I want to have amazing hair. I've seen the results on both Abby herself, people that she shared on her page, my own friends in my life have used this method and it's worked really well for them. So here we are. It's so much better. I mean, since I got the Dyson Air Straight, I feel like it's helped a lot, but here we are with the breakage. Keep in mind, this all used to be all one length, and then this side is even worse, but it's so much less frizzy than it used to be, and just my hair feels better overall. Like, there are a couple times where I've got to play around with ratios of products that I use, because sometimes it feels like maybe I put too much product in my hair and I'm kind of having to, yeah, just like do a little bit of trial and error when it comes to it. But the other thing that I was thinking about like the other day when I was traveling for the holidays, I ended up like ordering a couple of other sets of products to have with me so I don't have to like lug it back and forth between here and Arizona, and it's kind of expensive. And I went the mostly drugstore route, so it's definitely just like a price commitment, it's a time commitment. So yeah, those are just kind of things that come to mind, but I am liking it. I don't know if it's making a difference yet, but I feel like time will tell. It has been, yeah, like I said, almost 2 months of this, or 8 weeks, and I am getting my hair done again because my roots are kind of growing back in and it's just about that time. So fingers crossed. I may have to cut some of this breakage off, or at least sort of like even it out a little bit, but the overall health of the rest of my hair feels pretty dang good. It's really just the pieces around my face. We will continue on with doing this every single shower, and then I'll give you another update when I feel like it's time. All right, so believe it or not, it has now already been 6.5 months since I started this method. I didn't really have much to update on until this point. I was just kind of putting my head down and doing the routine. But as like a final update, here is where my hair is currently at. I will say about a month and a half ago, I got extensions to sort of fill in some of these like kind of broken PC areas in the front of my face. So if you can see kind of like in this section right here, I have some K-tip hair extensions, and those just like truly are to fill in, doesn't add any length or anything. But I mean, minus that, we'll just take it away. This is basically all my hair. This is what my hair is looking like 6 months later, which is crazy. I am so pleased with how well my hair is growing and how much less damage it's becoming. I am for sure, spoiler alert, going to continue doing this method. I may adjust as time goes on, and we'll talk about that later, but I truly think this is rewarding my hair so much, and even just being more intentional about my hair routine in general has helped a ton. I will say I always seem to forget the hair oil part of this method. Like, I just seem to always let that one slip my mind. So I'm gonna try to really kind of lock back in and get a little bit more serious, because I think if I give this 6 more months, it's gonna be crazy, my results. I'm really bad at remembering to use the Apres as well, so it's kind of like the pre-shower routine that I struggle the most with, but I do always use like a bond repair product, whether that's like the pre-shampoo or the post-shampoo like the K18. So I'm good there, but yeah, I just kind of need to like get a little less lazy. I think up until this point I was very rigid about this routine, and in the last like month or so I've noticed myself maybe skipping a couple of days of like the bond repair, or just doing like the 2 shampoos and the conditioner and nothing else, just kind of like feeling like cutting corners. So I kind of need to lock back in, so we'll see about that. Maybe I'll film a year update if you guys want to see that. I also think once I get a little bit closer to the like ultimate place that I want to be with my hair journey, I'll probably move more towards the abbreviated version that Abby has, and then just kind of maintain with the full routine like once or twice a month or as needed. But yeah, I cannot believe how much better my hair is looking now and how much longer it's getting. This has also been like a very good marker of time to see how much my hair has grown. I'm liking the way it's going, and I want to continue to see how it's going to go in the future, but I'm sold. I love it. So as a final before and after, here's what we're looking like before. Kind of terrifying, very frizzy, very heat damaged, very bleachy. And now here's where we are at a little over 6 months later. I cannot believe how much better my hair is looking, and so much more healthy, so much more sleek. I really do think this method is working for me. I am so excited to give it like another 6 months and see where my hair is a year after I started it, because I think it's gonna be such a night and day difference. I thought I would list a couple of pros and cons to share share with you my thoughts and things that maybe I didn't cover in the updates, and just sort of give you, an overall finger on the pulse of how I'm feeling after doing this for half a year. And maybe this will help sway you one way or the other. So starting with the pros, what I really like is that she gives you the option of either using drugstore products or high-end products or combinations of both, like I mentioned. I love that she's pro drugstore. I think it's amazing and very accessible for a wide variety of different incomes and wherever you're at in your hair health journey, whatever your preferences are. I also have noticed since starting this routine that my hair just feels so much cleaner all the time. Like, I used to just be a one wash and go kind of girl. I thought that's what you were supposed to do, but it turns out it's really better for you to wash your hair twice. So even if you use the same shampoo and shampoo your hair twice, it's even better for you than if you were to shampoo it once. It just really helps get in there and remove all of that buildup and oil and like yucky stuff. So my hair feels so much cleaner overall. I am noticing improvements in my hair. That is another pro. I have noticed that it's a lot less frizzy. I've noticed that it feels a little bit more sleek, like especially when I blow dry it. It feels softer to the touch. Like, it was a little crispy there for a minute. And then also there's far less shedding. And I'm not gonna lie, like that lasted for probably half of this, and now it's slowed down a lot more. So far less shedding, thank God. I wanted to mention this here as a pro as well, because I've noticed that in the process of me recording this and documenting this since then, Abbey has actually offered a revised sort of abbreviated version of the Abbey Yung method, because I think some of the feedback was like, whoa, this is way too much, like way too much time, way too much dedication, way too much info, way too many products, etc. So she has like a very just like abbreviated, simplified version that's available as well. So like, as I mentioned, it can be using the same shampoo 2 times instead of like buying a bunch of different products and doing a bunch of different combos. It's like just using the products that you do have like more intentionally, and I really, really like that that option is available. For the cons, the first one is just that it's expensive. Like, it's just expensive to buy that many products, even if they are drugstore products. So that is one thing that I would offer a critique for, but I mean, products cost what they cost. It has nothing to do with Abbey herself. It's just that if you are starting off with this, it can feel really overwhelming as far as how many products you have to buy and how expensive they add up to be. The next con is that the full routine, like the full shebang, like I mentioned, takes a long time. It takes a long time. It's a lot of dedication. You really have to be disciplined. There's a lot of product suggestions. There's a lot of combinations. There's a lot of alternative options. There's like step 11B, step 11C. Like, it's a lot of info. So like, as I mentioned with the products, it can also just feel super overwhelming with all the information you're being given, because it's thorough. It's like really, really thorough and well done, but it just feels quite intimidating at first. You're like, where do I begin? But I do promise you that once you get the hang of it and you start doing it, it just becomes muscle memory, and then you don't even have to worry about it. But it is just like, it's a lot. The next con is that, like I mentioned, you know, it becomes muscle memory, I guess to a certain extent, because there are steps that I kind of low-key forget. Like, I forget the hair oiling all the time. I forget the pre-shampoo hair oil most of the time. The pre-shampoo bonding treatment, I forget. Like, I probably only use like once a month. And then as far as hair oiling after my hair is like completely styled and finished, I probably do that like, once or twice a month. So there are definitely things, as I mentioned in my final update, that like I could hone a little bit better and get better at, but that is just kind of a con that I noticed, that because there's so many steps, I sometimes forget them. And the last con that I could think of is that if you're doing your entire routine in the shower, like if you're going from start to finish and you're just staying in the shower the whole time, it's a lot of water. It does take like, you know, on average 15 minutes, because you have to let like one product sit for 4 to 5 minutes, another product sit for like 5 to 7 minutes. So in combination with everything else you have to do in the shower, all the shampooing, all the conditioning, etc., it does take a while, and it does kind of like waste a lot of water. Abbey totally offers options to like hop out of the shower, do your thing, hop back in the shower, that kind of thing, but sometimes I just kind of want to get it all done in one fell swoop. So obviously do what's best for you, but yeah, it's just long. And it's a lot of water. So I thought I would share a couple of standout products for me, and then a couple of products that didn't end up working out for me, and kind of give my thoughts on those. As far as standout products, oh my God, I love both of these so much. I've repurchased both of them multiple times throughout this process. And that's the L'Oreal Everpure shampoo and the Pantene conditioning mask. These are the best. They're so, so good. If I could just use 2 products in my routine, like do a normal shampoo conditioner, but like shampoo twice and then condition, it'd be these 2. I love them. I love them. They smell good, they're nourishing, they're hydrating, they work great, and they're affordable. What's not to love? Then for the products that didn't work out for me, again, if you watched my de-influencing video, then you will have seen that I talked about both of these and it's just the smell and I don't like either of them. And I tested out the L'Oreal Elvive Purple Shampoo and Conditioner. It's not a purple shampoo, but it's in the purple bottle. And then the Pureology Color Fanatic. I did not like the smell of either of these. The L'Oreal Everpure, I'm just kind of like letting it sit in my cabinet if I'm honest. But the Pureology I'm actually trying to use, like I'm genuinely trying to get through it and I just don't like the smell of it. It smells perfumey, it smells powdery, I don't like it at all. So neither of these are being discredited for the fact that they don't work, but they're just being discredited because they're stinky. I'm sorry, I don't like them. As far as some overall final thoughts, number one would just be that it works. It really does work. You just have to be patient and consistent and dedicated. This is a very slow process and I am just now starting to really see some results about 6 months in. So depending on where you are in like your damage or hair health journey, just know it's gonna take time. This is one of those things, you know, I test these out quite a bit on my channel where I'm like, this viral thing is super viral, but is it worth it? And in this case, I say, absolutely. And then lastly, I just want to say, everyone say thank you, Abby, in the comments. Thank you, Abby. You have truly helped me throughout this entire process. And if I hadn't found this method, my hair would still be looking like ass. You know what I mean? So thank you so much. I'm just so grateful. And I think it's so cool that number one, this has gone so viral because it's deserved. And number two, that there are people on the internet now who can create things like this that are like changing people's lives in hair, changing the way they feel about their hair and their confidence. It's just wonderful. So thank you, Abby. Everyone say so in the comments. Absolutely amazing. Stunning work. So I think that covers all of it. If I forgot anything, please leave it in the comments and I will try to respond to everyone, and maybe I can make a year update and I can give a little bit even more in-depth results and we can look back on this and see how far I've come yet again. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also turn on my post notifications if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. If you have tried the Abbey Yung method and it's worked for you, I would love to hear your results in the comments below. Please let me know. And if you're curious and have any questions, I will do my very best to answer them for you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all of my love and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.